are not ready with him. So he's not ready with the vouchers that he assigned to do payments. I said, fine, but now, how can you reconcile when your vouchers are not with you? Then he was out by 421,000 some hundred. I can't remember fully. Then again, that trip I gave him a supply, but I told him that this is last, because then I didn't check his books at that time. So when I gave him that supply, when the supply is finished, he came again. I said, no, I will not give you any more. A single paper I will not give you to you unless this is reconciled and I know what's in your book. And from again, I wrote to the CEO. In fact, before I wrote him, I called him. I went to his office. I told him, look, Pa, EB is not, because we do normally call him EB, Ebrima Janneh. I told him, look, this man is not coming for submission. And he told me that his vouchers are with you. Can you please tell me something that I understand? But he didn't tell me anything that I can understand. I said, okay, fine. Then I started writing to him officially for him to know what is happening. But with all that, no reply, no action. I said, now it's better I forward this matter to the authorities. That was the time. I read again, reminding later, and copy all the stakeholders from the chairman, governor, Ministry of Local Government, and chairman of Sub-Finance Committee. That was the time when the general body called, the Finance Subcommittee chairman called, and his team called Ebrima Janneh to investigate what had happened. And during that investigation, he told them that, well, this money, the reason why he's not reconciling is, as I said earlier, because of his vouchers with the CEO, he's not ready with them. So this is the reason why he cannot submit. They told him fine. Then they took the matter to the general body. There it was also discussed, and they told him that him, CEO, myself, and his finance subcommittee chairman together with his team, we sit together and call Ebrima Janneh and make sure this thing is solved. It's solved on once and all. But up to today, nothing is happened. Up to that time, I left there. Now I said, let me write everything and make everything clear. That was why, when I am making my handing over, I write everything clear for them to know that, well, after the time I am leaving, Ebrima Janneh's case is unsolved. At the same time, the chairman wrote a memo towards it. The memo is there, among the letters submitted. Even that, with all that, still no possibilities until the time I left. And the case is unsolved still.
Now, how did Ebrima Janneh suppress those revenues? Because it's an amount of 1.1 million or so, right? Well, and he's saying that the payment vouchers, he's saying that he can't reconcile because his vouchers are with the CEO. Are those payment vouchers?
Yeah.
So is it that, or how was he able to suppress these monies? Was it that he gave cash to the CEO and prepared vouchers, or he made payments and prepared vouchers? Do you know?
Exactly. This is what he told me. He said the CEO gives me assignments for payments, and sometimes he requests money from him. And this is what he told the investigators. I mean, how to call the chairman of Finance Subcommittee and his team.
So the CEO was able to access cash directly from the revenue collectors?
Of course.
All of them, or was it just this Ebrima Janneh?
I could say mostly that.
Sorry, who mostly?
Most of them, I could say, all or nearly all of them. Because as I said earlier, he will assign them. Do this, do that.
Yes. So, you're saying that he would assign them to pay for services. So,
exactly.
For example, they would pay for water or fuel.
Exactly.
But in Ebrima Janneh's case, was it that, or was it cash that was being handed over?
As he said sometimes he's giving cash, because I never witnessed giving. But this is what he told me, and this is what he told the Finance Subcommittee chairman and his team.
Okay. So he prepared vouchers that he gave to the CEO.
Exactly.
Were these vouchers ever brought to you
Never.
to sign?
Never.
So did you see the vouchers that he said he prepared?
Never.
And when the questioning was going on, what did the CEO say about the vouchers that Ebrima Janneh says he handed to him?
He didn't tell me anything. This is why I wrote to him official to know what is actually happening. But still no reply and no action.
Okay, so when the CEO is giving these instructions to the revenue collectors to effect payments on his behalf, does he pass these instructions through you?
No, I heard of him saying that, but he never passed.
Yes, because I was going to ask you, because he was here before you and he said that he never directly speaks to the lower staff, that he gives instructions to the director of finance
No.
or other senior staff to pass it on to the revenue collectors.
No. I believe a collector sat here, a lady, the market manager, mistress.
The
and
collectors
said-
what?
The market mistress of Soma. I had one, she saying that here that they always request money from them and assign them to do payment. And that's the correct answer. Then that's the right thing, what he was doing.
Who's the market mistress? Is it
Tumul Kasam.
Tumbul Gassama?
Yes, she said it. I heard of it. I saw him. And as Tumul said, that's what was happening.
Thank you.
Mr. Janneh,
Yes, ma'am.
you've said that Mr. Sane told the finance committee about the fact that
Pardon?
you said you gave evidence
Yes.
now, not long ago, that Mr. Janneh told the finance committee. I want to find out who was the finance committee's sub-chair?
CDC Diba.
CD?
CDC Diba.
CDC Diba.
CDC Diba. He was the finance chairman of finance subcommittee.
So when Mr. Ebrima Janneh was telling the chairman, was it at a finance committee meeting?
Yes, the team.
And what you are saying is captured in those finance committee
yes,
minutes.
yes.
Can you recall which month and year it is?
Well, I think it's the minutes is with you people.
It's
there.
part of the documents.
Yes,
you
it's
submitted.
within document.
Thank you.
It's within document.
Thank you.
Let's check. Okay.
Mr. Janneh,
Yes, ma'am.
the transaction for the payment of sorry, let me just cross-check. When did you leave Mansakonko area council?
On the 1st of July 2019.
2019.
Yes.
Okay, this may not be during your time. Thank you.
Now, Mr. Janneh,
Yes, ma'am.
so Antumana Sarr was called to a hearing, right? To a meeting to discuss his shortages. And during the course of that, and I believe in your statement, you have said that you gave him, or he said that you had stopped issuing books to him. Is that correct?
Yes, my own receipt books. That was I gave to him.
So he said you stopped issuing books to him and then you gave him your receipt book.
Exactly. And that one, if you want, I can elaborate on that one, how it comes.
Now, it's not normal for you to have receipt books, correct?
Of course, it's normal. I've been the director of finance because all transactions in the desk and everything is posted in the main cash book.
No. Why would you, what books are these that you're talking about? Is it the GTR books?
GTR book, exactly.
Why would you have GTR books?
That's what I'm saying. I'm the director of finance. All their transactions end with me. So I have to get my own receipt book whereby I'll be anything that are any money I receive or anything check I receive, I should write it into that into the receipt book. Then later enter it into the main cash book.
So you're saying that people pay cash to you?
What I'm saying, if the collectors come with for their submission and reconciliation.
For their what?
If they come for their submission and reconciliation,
Yes.
I'll receive from my own receipt. That's where I draw their receipts.
I'm not sure I follow. You have GTR books,
Yes.
When the revenue collectors come to you for their submissions and reconciliation,
Yes.
you issue them a receipt from those GTR books.
From my own receipt GTR books, because I'll sign it from the CRPR.
Okay, so those GTR books, because they're supposed to be a representation of revenue received, right? They're revenue collection books.
Yes.
Right? So if your revenue collectors have already used their own GTRs to collect revenue, you now when they come to you, you issue them GTR receipts.
Yes.
For revenue they've already collected and put in their own GTR books.
Exactly.
Isn't that a double recording of revenue?
No, because why? They have their own petty cash books where they will do their entries. And when they are coming for solution, they come with those GTR books and that petty cash book. It's from that petty cash book and the GTR where the Director of Finance check together with their pen vouchers, and if there is any pen slip, also that one also is added and checked. After checking and everything, and it's found that it's tallied in the receipt book against the cash book, the director will take a receipt book and draw his own receipts. The amount of vouchers and the amount of pen slip are together, that amount will be written in that receipt book. Then that receipt book, the receipt drawn will be detached from the GDR book. The original will go to the director, the payee, that's the revenue collector. Then the duplicate and the triplicate will stay in the receipt book.
So I've seen those receipts stapled into the revenue collectors' cash books after you've closed their books.
Yes, after
right?
Exactly.
But what my question is, the amount that you have put in your own GTR, does it go into the cash book, the main cash book?
This is what I'm saying, because...
But what does it go into the main cash book as? What do you enter it as?
You know, if I say I receive from Mr. Sane or Mr. Moduba, example, the name Moduba will appear on the head of the receipt book. Then, and the amount he submitted, the voucher amounted to submitted, will be drawn, will be written in figures and words. Then at the back of the receipt, you will write the subheads, 94.1, because as I was that, then we call 91.01. That's license and etc. That's how we do things. Then at the amount will be written on the other side. Then will be added together. That amount will be tallied on the one together with the one in front of the front page.
Now, is it not neater to get a different type of receipt book for this particular exercise?
No, we are not authorized. We are not authorized.
No, I'm not saying if you're allowed, but is it not neater? So if you had GPPC printing a separate receipt book that is for your submissions, would that not be neater than using the same GTRs?
The same GTR what we use.
No, I know that's what you use.
Yes.
But I'm asking you, would it not be neater if GPPC provided you with a separate receipt book that would just be for your reconciliations with the revenue collector? So it's not GTR receipt books.
Well, I found the system in that way.
Yes, so that's why I'm asking you, because you've
that's
been in the system. That's how it's been done.
Exactly.
But would it make sense to have a separate receipt book for reconciliations that is not GTR?
Well, I believe if that can be possible, that I believe that it will be better in that way.
Yeah.
Now, Janet, you said you believe that is possible.
Pardon?
That is what should happen, or you believe that is possible? Because these are two different things. What counsel is asking you is whether it was not prudent to have a different receipt book, because there is nowhere in the financial manual. By the way, did you understand what the financial manual said with respect to your role as Director of Finance?
Yes.
Did you come across anywhere in the financial manual that says you should use the GTR book to issue receipts of monies collected from the collectors?
Of course.
Did you come across it?
Yes, of course. I believe because what the manual is saying, if I'm not mistaken, it's saying all the monies collected for the council should be collected from the GP
okay,
from the GPPC receipt books.
Now, no. What we are talking about is that we understand the revenue that you collect. You must issue receipt.
Yes.
Because the revenues you collect, they have revenue lines.
Exactly.
And for you to be able to do your proper accounting at the end of each month or each quarter, you must know which revenue line collected how much revenue.
Exactly.
And this can only be done when you give GTR books, and these are entered in the CRBR
Exactly.
to know which collector was given which receipt book, so that you can do your proper reconciliation, right?
Yes.
Now, my question is, this issue of you using GTR to issue to collectors when they come to submit what they have collected,
Yes.
to me, is not contained in the financial manual.
Exactly.
Is it contained there?
No.
So, was it a system that you adopted which is different from what the financial manual said?
No, this is the same system that I found that the system.
You found it, but it's not what the financial manual is telling you to do as Director of Finance. Is that not correct?
Yes, but in that case, me alone, it cannot be.
No, we just want to be clear, because it's a system that is, to us, is not correct. So
Fine.
we just want to find out from you as former Director of Finance, because we have looked at the law. It's not contained in the law.
Yeah.
For you as Director of Finance to issue a GTR receipt to a collector. There is no provision in the law that says when they come for submission, you should give them receipt as proof of they have collected tax, because those GTRs are meant to be used for the purposes of collecting tax, not for the purposes of evidencing that tax was collected. Right? Right?
Yes.
So, which means it was not a proper process that you found on ground. Is that correct?
Yes. But
No. Is that correct?
No.
No, I'm not getting it. I don't know whether you said no in the positive.
You are asking me whether is that correct?
Yes.
I said in that case it's not correct according to the how to call it, the accounting manual.
Yes.
But what I'm saying, the reason why we also give those receipts to them.
Yes. Huh?
The reason why we are giving receipts to them
Yes.
is because of when they make their payments, they too should get their receipts.
But the reason for you having a cash book and for you having the GTR, you understand? Your role as the finance director is to cross-check what is entered in the cash book against the receipts that have been issued and make a reconciliation. Where there is deficit or misrepresentation, you can quickly detect that, you understand, and correct the situation. Is that not correct?
Yes.
So why do you need to give them receipt? Because they have entered what they have received, and they have issued receipt to the taxpayer. So why do you have to enter it again somewhere?
This is what I'm saying. That particular receipt we are giving them to them. That is for their own receipt, because they already went out to collect. So when they come, in making their reconciliation, they have to bring either the vouchers, then pay slips for reconciliation. Then from there, if you reconcile from their receipt book to their petty cash book, this is the situation there. And this.
Well, is that the process you find, or is that the process provided for in the law?
This is the process I found there.
So now my question is that process correct, or is not in line with the law?
Well, for me, I believe to say the things, I believe if other means can come.
Sorry?
If I told you we can get another way of changing the system, it will be better. But as of now.
No, but you should answer the question first. I have asked you very clearly. What the law has said is very clear. What you found on the ground, you have explained.
Yes.
So now my question is, what you found on the ground, and what the law says, are they one and the same?
This is what I'm saying. I say it's not the same.
It's not the same.
This is what I'm
So
saying.
therefore, what you found on the ground is not correct.
This is it.
Huh?
Exactly.
No, you tell me whether it's correct
It's,
or
it's
not.
not. It's not correct actually.
It's not correct.
Actually, it's not correct.
No, you say it because I cannot say it for you.
That's what I'm saying. I said actually it's not correct.
Thank you.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, thank you. Counsel, you may proceed.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Janneh,
Yes, ma'am.
the letter that you wrote to the CEO of Mansakonko Area Council and copied Ministry of Lands, National Audit, the Governor of LRR, the Chairman of the various committees. So this letter was dated 7th of February 2021. And in that letter, you mentioned the fact that you gave 2 GTR books to Ansumana Sar to collect revenue.
Yeah.
And you said that he still had a shortage on those books
Exactly.
to the tune of $42,150.
Yes.
How did he get this shortage?
How?
How did he get this shortage? Also, why did you give him receipt books to collect revenue when you still hadn't sorted out the previous ones that were outstanding?
Yes. I'm concerned about the collection of me giving him the receipt books. It's
So
because
before your receipt books that you gave him, why did you decide to give him new receipt books when he hadn't, you hadn't closed his book for the ones that were outstanding?
Yes, this is what I'm explaining.
Okay.
You know, there's a revenue at Breng.
Okay.
Then he came, that was on Wednesday. He was going to Breng, to the Lumo, because at that time he was the resident collector of Lumo in the, at Breng. Then he came to me and told me that, well, the alcalis are coming to me today to collect, to pay their rates and taxes. But I have no receipt book at the moment, so I would like you to give me your receipt book, then to go and collect these monies, then bring the money back, then go and pay the money to the bank. I said, fine, no problem. Then I was having the partly used receipt book. Then when that one is about to exist, I took a first receipt book, additional to that partly used, give it to him. I told him, go and collect these things now. Come and deposit it at the bank. Please don't do anything about it. He said, no, I'll not. Okay, when he went, the following day, Thursday, I called his attention. I said, I called him, come. When he came, I told him, where's the money? Have you deposited the money to the bank? He said, no. I said, why? Because this instruction I give you, that collect the money and take to the bank. But if you are telling me you didn't deposit the money to the bank, now how did you spend the money? And how? You cannot tell me anything definite. I said, okay, now, let me write this in place. That you are in shortage of this money. You spend it without my knowledge, and I didn't give you any authorization to spend it. Now give me my receipt books. I took the receipt books from them, entered them in the main cash book, prepared that voucher as impress, which is signed, and the matter also forwarded to the financial committee, then to the general body. Then that was cause of his suspension, indefinite.
So he was suspended for that particular transaction?
Exactly.
But he wasn't suspended for the outstanding amount?
No.
Do you know when his suspension ended?
The letter is within the end no, I don't know, because when I was leaving there,
It was after you left?
I left, I had that he's back to in service, and the money settled. I said, well, I don't know, I cannot say anything about that.
Okay. Then in that same letter, you talked about revenue that was collected from physical planning on land transfer and land ownership, and that it has never been paid to the council account or at the bank or paid to you in cash.
Exactly.
Who collects revenue for from physical planning for land transfer and ownership?
Then the finance manager was responsible, because
Is it Salu Jassi?
Exactly.
Okay.
Because it's the CEO who gave him that responsibility. Per se, gave him that responsibility to be collecting.
But the finance manager is not supposed to be collecting revenue.
Well, that's what I have seen things. Though that's how it was operating also.
Okay.
Because
So
that one
he-
too, I told them to be banking. Even in the land of, what I call fiscal plan officer who was there, Mo Sisi, I told him, tell your people to be taking this money to the bank.
The physical planning officer, was he within the premises of the council?
No, he's renting.
He's where?
He's outside
Outside?
the premises.
Okay. So how or since when was Salu Jasi collecting these monies?
Pardon?
When did the CEO give Salu Jasi the authority to be collecting the monies from physical planning?
Well, I can't remember actually when it started, but when the date is in his petty cash book, because he also has a petty cash book,
Okay.
whereby he do his interest when he collects.
So you can't tell us for how long this has been going on?
No, definitely.
But do you remember what year you last received these payments, or did you, during your period at Mansakonko, you've never received those monies?
No,
For the whole 2016 to 2019, they never paid to
no,
the area council?
no, not on my knowledge.
Okay. And you also talked about the vehicles that were purchased for the CEO and the chairman. And I believe you said one of them was 300,000 and the chairman's was 450,000. Do you know the people that the vehicles were purchased from?
I think, well, I don't actually know. The matter was discussed at the council level that both CEO and the chairman should get a vehicle. Then after the meeting, they said the CEO came to my office to draw checks of that 300,000. Then after 450,000, the check numbers are there.
Yes.
Those are the numbers he gave me, that those where he purchased those vehicles. I said, fine. But I asked him now, is there any GPP procedure? He said it will come later. When he took the checks also, I asked him, where are the receipts or the supporting documents for these particular things? Up till today, he cannot produce anything for me.
So
I
you
said-
never received receipts for the purchase of the vehicle?
Pardon?
You never received receipts?
Nothing absolutely. So this is why that one I wrote him, and when I'm handing over, I make sure that everything I stated there to be clear to them that these things are unsolved up to today, up to the day I'm leaving the office. This is why I put them in my hand and over and over.
So let me just go over the transaction. As you said, the CEO came to you to sign the check.
To prepare the check.
So was the check issued in somebody's name?
Yes, but I don't know the name. This is why I called the check numbers on the.
Yes, you said the check number, but in whose name was the check issued?
This is what I'm saying. I didn't capture the man's name. Or the
Okay, you
people's
don't
name.
remember the name?
No, I don't remember.
Okay.
This is why I put the check numbers there, so that the individual's name will be known.
Okay. So there's the minutes of the meeting of the, minutes of Mansakonko Area Council Senior Staff Meeting with the Director of Finance, Mr. Ebrima Janneh, held on Monday, 11th March 2019. So I think you were at this meeting. I believe this is the meeting that you were talking about where the CEO was complaining that you wrote to everybody. Was it?
Yes, because the reason that one to what the causes of it is.
Pardon?
I said that one to the reason why I did that, because the same related to these three collectors, Ebrima Janneh, Lamin Cham, and Ngaswan Sar, and
Yes.
also his operations, assigning collectors, do that, without my knowledge. Then I see to it that it's better. I write to him and copy to the stakeholder, all concerned people, for them to know that this is what is how he's operating in the council.
So during that meeting, the CEO basically gave a background of how the issue came about, and I think as the chairman and the CEO both told you that you shouldn't write directly to outside people, that it's the CEO's mandate to write and you should not be writing.
Yes.
Were you ever penalized for that?
No, because I told them that I cannot, the reason why I write this, Or what, the reason why I did is, I cannot be sitting here, things are going wrongly. You people say that I should not write. Well, you definitely know what is happening is not correct. So if I keep quiet, in future, whatever happens, I'll have the blame or I'll be responsible. So this way I have to write for the authorities to know what is happening.
So also at that meeting, you indicated that some of the revenue collectors were close to the CEO, and that's why they did not respect your authority.
Definitely.
Which of the revenue collectors?
Ngansumana Sar and how to call it, Ebrima Janneh. Sometimes they don't even answer to me when I call them.
Now, what do you mean by they're close? What kind of relationship do they have?
They are friendly. Because they are friendly relationship.
They're very good friends.
Exactly.
Was this before the council or at the council? Because you said you knew past it before you came to Mansakonko.
I found them like that. You know, he was there for many years.
That's true.
Then I found that the relationship between them there.
So because of the relationship, that's why they didn't respect your authority?
No.
So Baba Jajusi also wrote to the CEO about the physical planning funds, the land transfer funds.
Exactly.
Are
Yes.
you aware of that?
Yes.
Did anything come out of that?
Not absolutely. After the time I'm living there.
Your what, sorry?
I said nothing absolutely. After the time I left,
Nothing.
I said nothing has been done or no action has been taken. After the time I handed over the office to my successor.
Okay. So there was also a finance subcommittee meeting with Ebrima Janneh and who's the other person, Lamin Cham, in respect of the shortages. I believe there have been quite a few meetings about these shortages with the finance subcommittee. And at some point, the CEO wrote a letter to, I believe, to the ministry. I think this might be after you had left. But he said that two of the revenue collectors, I think this is a letter dated 9 September 2018. Let me just read it so that I can ask you. Okay, no, this is not it. Anyway, so the CEO wrote to the ministry, I believe, in respect of the revenue collectors, and in respect of the two revenue collectors, he mentioned that there was fraud committed, but when it came to Ebrima Janneh, he merely said that his books could not be reconciled, and so they don't really know what happened.
Yes.
Are you aware of that letter?
Well, it's generally during the financial committee meeting, the copy is sent to me. That is where I know that these things he wrote this letter, but I don't receive any letter concerning about that.
I'm sorry, I am finding it very difficult to hear you.
I said the minutes of the meeting is from there. I know that Ebrima, this thing, the letter is written to him, to these people.
Okay. You wrote to the bank, to Trust Bank,
Yes.
to block Ebrima Janneh's salary.
Yes.
This is the letter dated 26 September 2018. Now,
Yeah.
how is his salary usually paid? Is it not that the council writes to the banks with a list of the people who need to be paid and how much they need to be paid? How are salaries paid?
Pardon?
How are salaries paid at the council?
You know, we have some people who receive their salaries on the pay table, and some receive it at the bank.
Okay.
So for the bank, you have your bank account number, the amount you are paid, and you send to the bank when month ends. As for those receiving their salaries on the pay table, they come to the finance manager for payments.
Okay. So if you write to the bank monthly with the names of the people that should be paid, their account numbers, and how much, right?
Yes.
So why were you writing to the bank to tell them to stop his salary? Would it not be that you have to remove his name from the list when you're sending to the bank?
Pardon?
You wrote to the bank to say that they should stop his salary.
Yes.
But his salary is not automatically paid by the bank every month. If you don't send a list with his name on it and his account number and the salary, the bank won't pay him, right?
Yes.
Yes, so that's why I'm asking, why did you write to the bank instead of just removing his name from the list?
This was you know what happened when this thing starts. You know the salaries are prepared by the finance department manager. Then his name will be appeared there. Then it was eventually when I discovered that this is happening. Then I wrote to the bank, and before that I told the CEO that this thing is going on and I have to block it.
This thing is what?
That Ebrima is receiving his salary and it should not be done because it's already in a problem. So I have to block it. I have to write to the bank to stop it. That was the time I wrote that letter, copy to himself, copy Ebrima Janneh, then copy to the bank manager.
So was Ebrima Janneh suspended?
Ebrima Janneh.
Yes.
When I was there, he was when I wrote this letter, that was the time he was suspended.
So he hadn't been suspended before you wrote the letter to the bank?
Exactly.
Okay. So was he suspended for the rest of that period until you left?
Yes, until I left, he was not working.
Okay. Now, in your statement, you said something about 27,800 that you had to pay or that had to come out of your gratuity. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, that one too, it was, I discovered it when the
Audit report
came. Yes, came. Because when I saw that, I said, this thing, it was a surprising thing to me because I know how to make how to call it, to omit, to do omission in my book I'm not used to it. So this is why when I saw this, I said, then, as a human being, it's possible. I will not deny them. But with all that, now, hence you people out of payment, just take it from my gratuity.
Now, how is it possible to have those unposted payments? Because you don't actually make payments, right? It would be the revenue collectors make payments and then you post it in the main cash book.
Yes.
So how is it possible that you would not post it in the cash book? How is it possible to have unposted payments?
This is what I'm saying. It's a receipt. It's receipts. It's from not physical cash or vouchers, but it's receipt numbers that according to the report that I omitted. I didn't enter in the cash book, main cash book. That's what they are querying about. I wanted to that too.
So it would be that the revenue collectors came with the receipts, but you didn't put it in the cash book?
No. Myself, when I'm entering in the main cash book, you know I have my own GTR receipt book.
Yes, but your GTR receipt book is not for receiving revenue.
Pardon?
Your GTR is not for receiving revenue.
That is when when submission is done.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So when they come and do submission, they have their receipts. They have their GTR receipts and their bank slips, right?
Yes.
You put it in your GTR book.
Main cash book, yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Then you issue them a receipt.
Yes.
Now, is those receipts that you've issued them, those are the receipt numbers that you put in your cash book.
Exactly.
So if you don't put it in your cash book, does not mean that it wasn't paid, right?
Exactly.
It will still be in your GTR book.
Exactly.
So if you don't post it in the cash book, does not necessarily mean that the money didn't come.
Of course. It shows that it's not submitted. It's not entered in the cash book.
So that's my question, right?
Exactly.
How do you get the unposted payments? If the money was actually paid and the receipts are actually in your receipt book and the amounts are actually deposited into the bank, because that's the only basis on which you're issuing a receipt, because the monies were put in the bank, you can verify that the money was received, right?
No, not physically money is received. Actually.
Let's go over this again. The revenue collector collects money, goes to the bank, pays it in.
Yes.
Collects the bank, the paying in slip.
Yes.
Brings it to you. Right?
Yes.
You verify that he's paid these monies. You enter it in your own receipt book. Right?
Yes.
So that means money was deposited into the bank.
Yes.
There's a cumulative amount of what was deposited, and that's what you issued a receipt for, right? So even if you did not pay, even if you did not post that receipt in your main cash book, you still have proof that the money was paid into the bank.
Actually.
So that's my point. So if you have proof that the money was paid into the bank, why are you repaying the money if it's just unposted vouchers?
Yes, this is what I'm saying. You know, already the query is there that they are not posted in the main cash book. So to me, I only seen that it's a shortage. Should be a shortage to my side.
Yes. So you can verify it if you're shown the documents.
Exactly.
So did you ask for those particular documents?
No,
For the 27,800?
What I did, when I saw it, I went there to Mansakonko to go over the cash book itself, main cash book.
Okay.
And the receipt book they are querying about. So I found the numbers there, but I told the CEO that I found it, but what he told me was that let me do the job together with the internal auditor. But since then, the internal auditor cannot get the chance for two of us to sit together and go over this issue. So this way now I said, hence time is like that in that way. Let them just deduct it from my gratuity and post it in the cash book.
So was the amount actually deducted from your gratuity payment?
Of course, they've deducted it and paid to the
How do you know it was deducted?
Huh?
How do you know it was deducted from your gratuity payment?
The management put it in their reply.
They put it what?
They have stated it in their reply.
They stated it in their letter?
Yes.
No, they said that they would deduct it. But did they actually deduct it?
They told me plain that they deducted it because...
Did they write anything to that effect that it has been deducted from your gratuity?
Yes, I went there to reconcile with them. You know, they are supposed to pay me my areas. Which is, from that areas, they deducted it from there, and still there's a balance that they are supposed to pay me.
Now, you had to keep writing to get your gratuity, is that right?
Pardon?
You had to keep requesting for your gratuity to be paid.
Of course.
All right. And I think I recall you wrote to the Ministry of Lands about it.
Exactly.
And it was only when they interfered that you were paid. Is that right?
Exactly.
How long was it from when you were due to be paid to when you were actually paid?
2 years, 6 months, 30 good months.
Pardon?
2 years, 6 months.
2 years, 6 months.
30 good months. I'm sitting now without having my allowances. It was when Shure came there in 2022 January when they started paying me.
They started paying you in 2022?
2022 January.
Do you know why they weren't paying you?
They said, according to Ba, he said because I didn't sign the vouchers. Those vouchers he's talking about. And I told him categorically that I'll not sign them because I'm not aware of the payments and I cannot sign any voucher that I'm not aware of payments as the Director of Finance. So this is why he said he too will not pay my gratuity.
Did you ever have a meeting about this with the ministry and Passet CC?
No, I wrote to the Permanent Secretary, then copied to the Chairman, Local Service Commission.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Janneh, what I want to understand is that if you recall, you were written to by the ministry.
Yes.
Particularly on all these issues of queries.
Pardon?
You were written to?
Yes, ma'am.
To respond to the audit query for 2018.
Yes, ma'am.
And various sums of money were stated.
Yes, ma'am.
And you replied on the 5th of March 2019.
Yes, ma'am.
My question is, the dates presupposes that these transactions that you were asked and these monies that they are asking you to explain,
yes, ma'am.
These transactions happen whilst you were the Director of Finance. Is
yes,
that correct?
Yes.
So the monies that they were querying,
yes, ma'am.
the one is the 1,125,000, right?
1 million.
Yes, 125,000.
That was when?
It is the letter that you replied on the 5th of March. You were responding to that 1,125,000.
Is that not Ebrima Janneh's case?
What?
Ebrima Janneh's case, EB?
No, what you said was a follow-up done, but to no avail. Yes, I think that was the Ebrima
That is Ebrima Janneh's case. That is within my hand in Overnorth.
Yes.
Yes.
And now the issue of the 178,000, also 752.15, that was also during your time.
Yes, this one I'm saying.
I just want to be sure, right? And you have indicated also that there were a series of vouchers that were not posted. And you do not know anything about it.
Yes.
Was that the end of the inquiry with respect to all those vouchers that they made mention of, that you made mention of in your letter of the 5th of March?
I follow a maker for through the main cash book.
Yes. And you did not see the transactions, or those vouchers were not?
They are there.
They are there.
They are there. In fact, the main cash book is with your investigators. I brought the main cash book is with them there. It's with them there. If you ask them, they'll show you the main cash book.
Thank you.
Mr. Janneh, you wrote to the, is it the ministry? You wrote to the council, letter dated 7th February 2021, in response to the audit queries that were raised, I believe.
Yes.
And you, other than the 27,800 that you acknowledged that you would pay for, there were several other unposted payment issues that were raised, and you had said that for most of them you don't recognize them because you never signed the vouchers, you didn't know about the payments, etc. Yes. And you had asked them to give you those vouchers. If they provided it to you, you could look at them and see whether you had something to say about them, right? Did they ever provide you with those vouchers?
No, because when I went there, for this main cash book, on Wednesday, I could remember 27th last month.
The what, sorry?
27th December, I went there to collect the main cash book together with those vouchers. But when I went, they told me that the vouchers are already with the investigators. Then that was the time I told them to give me the main cash book to come with it, so that we can do our verifications.
When you said 27 December, which year are you talking about?
Just last year.
2023?
Yes.
But the letter that you wrote was in 2021?
Yes.
During that period, when you wrote that letter, after you wrote that letter, did they provide you with the vouchers?
No.
Did you go there around that period?
Of course, I went there.
And did you ask to see the vouchers?
No.
Okay. So did they come back to you about in response to your letter? Did they respond to your letter?
They didn't.
Okay. There's a letter dated 5th October 2018 from Pasit Sise to the chairman of the Finance Committee, and the heading is Re-Warning Letter.
Yes.
Pasit is basically telling the chairman of the Finance Committee that he doesn't have the mandate to write to him, that it should be his chairman. Do you know what happened to necessitate that letter?
Yes, it's due to the misbehavior of the Pasit.
Due to whose behavior?
The CEO Pasit, as I was saying, when that letter was received, the chairman wrote to him that he should distance himself from what he's doing. And because of that letter, he wrote that reply to the subcommittee chairman that he has no mandate to write to him.
Okay. Commissioners, I don't know whether you have any questions, but I think I'm through with the witness.
You talked about the issue of $450,000 is being used by the CEO to purchase a motorbike. Can you tell us more about that?
Motor vehicle.
Huh?
A motor vehicle. That's for
motor vehicle, yes.
That's for himself. That's for the chairman.
Yeah.
And it was at the council meeting.
Yes.
When it is proposed that two of them should get motor vehicle.
Yes.
Then after the proposal, after the meeting, he came to me. When agreement is already done, that these motor vehicles should be bought for them. He came to me to prepare the checks. Then he's going to Banjul, come in here. Then I prepared the checks. He said, and I signed, but I told him, please, is there any GPPA procedures going on that has been held before buying these things? He said, yes, I've done everything. I said, fine. Now, please, if you are coming, bring all the documents for me, the supporting documents for me, because I need to, that these things have to be prepared, the budget has to be prepared, and then you posted in the cash book. He said, yes, but up to today, he didn't give me any document, supporting document, and no GPPA procedure is done. This is why I wrote that letter. And this is why I wrote it in my canon overnote as well.
Did you sign the check?
Of course, because it's an agreement by, it's already agreed by the General Counsel.
Okay. You signed it, but there was no supporting document.
No supporting document. And I told him and I wrote for him officially.
All right. So what the auditor said with respect to the council drawing checks without supporting documents is true in most transactions.
Well, it's very normal.
Huh?
It shouldn't be done anyway.
Yes, what I'm saying is, my question is, what the auditors said with respect to Mansakonko Area Council, they will draw checks and withdraw money from council's account without supporting document. Is it a true assertion?
Of course.
Of what has been transpiring?
Of course.
At Mansakonko?
Of course, this is an example of it.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Now, you were transacting on the Reliance Finance account, right?
Yes.
So, when you take a look at transactions dating from 3rd May to 2018, up to 18th of July 2019, you and Paset Sise were withdrawing checks in your names.
In whose name? Sorry, ma.
Sorry?
You say in my name, you mean?
Yes, you and Paset Sise. You withdraw monies from the Reliance account. Is that correct?
To withdraw money?
Yes.
Well, in that.
Can you show him the Reliance account?
Okay, let me see.
Reliance, yes.
Yes.
Check from the 3rd of May 2018 to the 18th of July 2019. Were these checks in your names, yourself and Pasit Sise?
Let me see.
Did you see the transactions?
Yes, I'm seeing them.
Everything I listed from that 3rd of May to 19th of July are transactions in different months that was done in that account. Is that correct?
Pardon?
I said the dates I have referred to you are transactions done between this time period, which was checks withdrawn that were presented to Reliance bearing your name and Paset Sise. Is that correct?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, just go straight to the dates.
Okay, that's on the top.
You have 3rd of May 2018. Can you check that?
Yes, I've seen it.
Did you see 17th of May 2018?
Yes, I've seen
The
it.
3rd of May is $10,000. The 17th is $15,000.
Yes, I've seen it.
Here, the largest sum you withdrew was on the 29th of June 2018. You withdrew the sum of 202,866.18.
200?
202,866.18. You withdrew that amount on the 29th of June. Did you see that?
Well, 29 June, 2018, loan disbursement.
Is what?
To what I'm saying here, 29 June.
Yes.
Uh, 29 June 2018. It's loan
What about the 5th, 29th June?
29 June, what I'm seeing.
Yes. Can you show me?
On the 25th, page number 25.
Can you check the 5th of July, 2018?
Pardon?
What do you have on the 5th of July?
5th of July, July.
Yes, it should be 29 June. I'm correct. 29 June.
Okay, 29 June, what I'm seeing is 3% loan admin fee.
What I have is 202,866, what is withdrawal by yourself and Mr. Basit Sise. Can you check what is the... Do you have 29th of June in that account?
Yes, I'm seeing it.
Is it correct?
Yes, I'm seeing it.
Is it correct?
Yes, 202,886.
Okay, I'm just been instructed that it's time, so we are stopping here till tomorrow, and we will continue. So you may wish to take a look at the financial transactions and all the monies you have withdrawn in your various accounts by tomorrow, so that we can quickly go through them. All right?
Okay.
If you need copies, you can ask the secretariat.
I need a copy of it.
Yes.
Because what I'm seeing,
You can ask the secretariat to provide for you.
okay, because what I'm seeing, this was during the rehabilitation of,
During what?
during the extension of the offices.
Well, you will check it and then you can explain to
okay,
us.
please, can I get a copy of it?
Yes, thank you. We may rise.